Libra friends, goes a pelican. Oh, we just dove. Thank you for joining us here. It's we're gonna do your singles reading here, the 4 pillars. It's for the second half of April, special on the beach edition. It's a beautiful morning. Okay, Libras, this is a little bit different kind of single spread, I think. Sorry for the noise. They're very noisy. But I have to have these glass beads for the wind, which is not too bad this morning. But so, trying to look for your person here, your soulmate, and we're going to ask Tarot to bring us this person here. So we're not trying to look for your next ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-problem. We're trying to look for the one who's right for you, okay? And try to describe them a little bit, bring them to life, meet them. And we'll look at the 4 pillars here, and this is your emotional and intellectual and sexual and lifestyle compatibility. Excuse me just a minute. Alright, so we'll get started. It's a little bit different read, so if you're a reader, give it a minute. So emotionally, Page of Swords, 5 of Wands. Remember, this is your person, okay? Page of Swords and 5 of Wands. It might be a younger person. Maybe you're a younger person. And this page is different. If you look at this demeanor, it's a very different page. Pretty serious page, They're supposed to be delivering a message, but it's almost like that one's like maybe they're going to deliver a hit, King said, yeah, go over and say you're delivering a message to this other king, but then just kill him. So, again, it's your person. It won't be scary. But with the 5 of Wands, so we're talking about a difficult childhood here. I get the sense that they might have been an only child, or they were the younger. This is the story you might want to look for when you start telling each other your stories. Birth order is like one of those notoriously accurate things in psychology, predicting behavior and stuff. But so they might either be an only child or like a youngest child with like all the other siblings were significantly older. So maybe they kind of were alone, and maybe they had 5 siblings, but maybe they had siblings, and so they were bullied, I think, in childhood. They may tell you that story. Being that they're your soulmate, depends on how much they open up. We're kind of looking for what they might tell you as you first get together and meet and tell each other your stories. So emotionally, they might be kind of withdrawn, a little bit cautious. They might be slow to open up. They're probably going to listen more than they talk. They're probably very sensitive to criticism of any kind, my guess, okay? So they won't want to give criticism, I think with them, they may have trouble like asserting themselves. They may do it, but in a little bit of a clunky way. You may notice this, like it's just not easy for them and natural. So in any given situation, they may kind of over-assert themselves or under-assert themselves. Again, it's your person. No one's perfect. So look for those stories about the childhood and the siblings. And I mean, they'd likely laugh about it now. But that does kind of, another thing that comes to mind is hyper-vigilance, very much with the Page of Swords and the 5 of Wands. It's like that, I like that Jason Bourne moment when he's in the restaurant and he's like, I don't understand why, but I know that there's all the license plates I got remembered, and then there's 5 left-handed people and 27 right-handed people in here, and I can run, all of that. That's just like that's them, So, even when you're sitting and talk with them, you may notice them kind of looking around like a little nervously, even, because they're always, on the watch, for any harm. Wow, look at that, the 8 of Swords. Now you got the 8 of Swords up here next to the Page of Swords. It's really kind of emphasizing what I'm saying here. And the Devil. So now remember, this is a different kind of read. So when you see like the Devil and the Tower in this reading, it's not like a normal. thing. This is their intellect here and how they communicate. This is also emotionals, your unconscious. This is your conscious self here. And boy, with the Eight of Swords and the Devil, yeah, I gotta say this, like, they're keeping demons down. This is your person here. I don't want to freak you out. Nobody's perfect, but it's just childhood stuff. It's a lot of the same with the Eight of Swords and the Devil. They really are kind of defensive, and I don't think they're defensive like in, what did you mean by that? Like, they're just defensive, and they're always on the defense. They're always kind of watching and a little nervous, and that hypervigilance, big time, And with the Devil here in the intellectual, I don't see. Um, it could be like a Capricorn, Mercury. Look for that for sure if you're into astrology. But I don't see like the addictions. More like there could be compulsive behavior around communication and their thoughts. With the Eight of Swords, and they go around in their head a lot with things. And I got to tell you, when you get to know them, it's your person. It's not bad. They're working through all this. They're kind of young, probably. I get a feeling it's kind of a young person, and maybe you'll help them too with this. But they go around in their head a lot and play scenarios over and over. And I do this. That's part of hypervigilance. It's almost like an AI computer that calculates out. Well, if I say this, and then what if she says this? If she says this, it's going to go like this. But wait, what if she says this, and it's going to go like this? And they might. And you could see this too when you're talking to them. Again, that sort of nervousness, like you're talking to them, and they sort of disappear for a minute, or their eyes leave yours, and they're doing it, you probably see that on their face. Like, you can almost kind of see them doing these calculations in their head, like algebra in their head, and it's something that you do it very fast. And so they're always just very concerned that they don't want to get into any trouble, basically, cautious. Sexually, Queen of Pentacles. Also, this is their love nature. So we talk about Mars and Venus energy here. How I like to look at it. So with the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, definitely sexually we're looking at Earth's energy in their Mars and Venus. So you could either be a Mars and Earth or Venus and Earth, or you might well be both. But with the Queen of Pentacles, could be Taurus. So I'm going to go with the Two of Pentacles. This is your Mars. That would be an Earth sign. Mars. They might have a Taurus Venus here too. Could even be a Libra Venus. I see that kind of opulence of the Queen here. But they take sex very seriously with these pentacles. Even with a soulmate, they're not someone that's going to jump into bed quickly. Now you begin to put this all together, and you see someone with their makeup and their challenges that they're dealing with and they've dealt with and trying to overcome. They're going to be cautious, about things they do. They're not going to be rash. They're not going to make rash statements. They're not going to take rash actions. So they're not going to jump in bed with someone, lickety split here, guys. In terms of lovemaking, they're not passionate. They're more slow. It's like that slow hand. It's not passionate in the sense of they're not going to, like a fire sign, Mars, throw you on the bed and fuck you, right out of the chute. They're going to be more wanting to romance and wanting to feel comfortable. Setting is going to be very important. Like, they're probably going to want to do it in the car and stuff like that. And they're going to want to take their time, and they're really going to be into reciprocity. So be a good lover. Like, they're not going to be selfish. Not going to be all about them. That's for sure. They're going to be thinking about you. I just got a really good feeling. I think like when I see with sex and love, we pour a lot of that our other stuff into there from our emotions and our intellect, and it's like they want to feel safe too sexually, because I think that's where they really let their hair down. They're really vulnerable, but with these pentacles, somehow they feel kind of grounded sexually, and that's probably their Mars and Venus being in Earth here, right? Gives them that kind of feeling. And then King of Pentacles, this is their lifestyle and core values. And the Hierophant, ooh, that's heavy. So, boy, I was going to say just with the King of Pentacles, now add the Hierophant. This is a conservative person. They might be a Republican, if you're going to go look at it that way. Usually I say, well, they're just someone who's kind of conservative. Again, with their outlook, look, they're not going to take rash actions. They're not going to take chances. They're not going to want to spin the wheel. They're going to, every time, go for the certain thing. They're very grounded. They have to work at this. But this is how you present yourself, too, with the lifestyle core values. So very traditional. They're going to want to get married. Let me just say that hello. They're definitely going to want marriage. They're not going to want any kind of a non-traditional union with you, I'm not saying they might live with you at first, but they're a marriage person. And they know how to manage money. I mean, if you don't, let them do it. They got that shit down cold. Anything to do with finances and with managing the life. It's like also, they're going to want a solid home. They're going to want to live in a home and fill it up with things that make them feel secure and mean things to them. They're just not going to want just anything. They're going to want to have input into what goes into the home, and really kind of control over the relationship and the marriage too. And again, I don't see this as a bad thing. This is your person. But think about this: if you love them, with what they've gone through, they need a sense of security. And so, like a child, you say to them, honey, what would you like this morning? Would you like to have the Cheerios, or would you like to have the Apple Jacks? Just to give them a choice, because it makes them feel better. Kind of like that, They want to feel like they're in control of their own destiny too. And this is very much that energy of my home is my castle, even sexually. I'm going to tell you, I just comes to me, I said it before, I think they're going to want to do it at home. And even like in the bedroom, like you're going to be like, do me on the washing machine. And be like, let's go to the bed. They probably make a lot of money. I got to say, like, this is in that position when it's in this lifestyle, core values. It's hard to say what they could be into. Something like having to do with finances or business. Could be like working as some kind of CEO or financial officer. And they could even be involved in, I got a feeling they could be involved in politics, like in a level of regional or state politics, or even bigger, where they have some kind of influence. Or they could be involved in the church. I mean, they could be a deacon in the church or something that is involved in that. And they have that conservative way about them. So, wow, I think this gives us a lot here, Libras. So let me know. Love to see how this reading goes. A little different. Particularly if you find this person, give me a shout out. Thank you guys. And like us, appreciate it. It helps. It's easy. It's good karma. And remember that always on Wednesdays is Libra and Scorpio Day. Tell me more. We're going to also have the heart spread up, where that's if you have someone on your mind, not if you're single. Thank you guys.